bikini. I'm actually 1 week out from the competition. I only probably worked on my bikini like for a long time frame, maybe 4 days. And then I kind of just went back to it here and there and would do like a small amount of work, maybe like 15 minutes. I could have definitely been done this way before. In total, I think that I could have knocked it out if I gave myself maybe an hour a day for 2 weeks. Probably less than that. It's just really the drying time. So I kind of wanted to now say things that went well, what didn't. First off, I used E6000 glue. In the beginning, you saw it all nice and beautiful, and if you look at this container now, it's disgusting. There's glue all over it. It came with all these kind of different devices in order to have it more precise in gluing, but the thing is, if I laid this down, the glue dripped out everywhere and dried up, so I always had to have it standing up. At one point, I was trying to squeeze it, and a hole burst on it, and I had to like tape it. When I'd come in the next morning, it would be clogged. I actually ended up using this to kind of like push the glue in. So the E6000 glue itself worked very, very well. I didn't have a lot of trouble at all with stones falling off, but just the container that it's in is just really difficult to use. So if you can find it in something that's not this kind of tube, it might be better. Or if there's a different method that you come up with, you see how it's bubbling just from taking it off right now. A different method for you to use, I suggest trying it, but the glue itself really did a great job in holding it. Also online, they said to use these. They're like for picking up jewelry beads, and they did not work at all. Let me show you. Oh. And even if I tried to do it, I can't pick it up with my fingers. This way, it's, oh, there we go. Okay, but instead I use these tweezers, Revlon, they're like 10 bucks, and I just picked it up and put it on. A lot simpler. So definitely I recommend going the tweezer route. And for crystals, these are beautiful, and I found them off of Etsy, and I just typed in rhinestones. I think Rhinestones Incorporated is actually like where I got it from the Etsy store, and I got 20 SS, and they come in grosses, which is 144 beads. I ended up using, I think, 4 of these and 4 of the 16 SS, and that's also why you want to do it in advance. Probably like maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I realized I needed a little bit more, so I just purchased them. Now I have these left over, but that's fine because if something falls off, I can bring them to the show and re-add them if I really need to. So make sure you plan ahead of time to do your suit and everything, because you don't want to run out of beads and don't have time to order them. So besides that, the foam ball definitely really helped, and I used the push pins that have the big head at the top, put it on. I ended up deciding to do my bottoms since I had some more, just like a little tiny bling, not something major. So you see I did 5 rows on this side. I used 1 20 SS and then 16 SS under it, and that's just the sides, so they're slightly smaller. So I just did the sides, so kind of like delicate and nice. And then here is my finished suit. So I used 20 SS on the sides for like 3 rows, and then I did 16s in the middle. Here's the other side. Oh, here's the other side. It was mostly just making sure that they're even and going back and forth and adding and subtracting different beads here and there, so that way it looks even. I like how it looks. I think it's really pretty, and I'm definitely happy with my work. And I really do think it saves a bunch of money, because probably spent $60 on beads, and then the suit itself was about $150, and that was from Celia, and she has an Instagram, and she has a website, and I just really like the color, and the quality of the bathing suit's really nice too. So I'm really happy with my finished product. If you have any questions about the suit or different things that I would recommend, feel free to ask. but honestly, it was just a matter of me putting the glue down and putting the rhinestone on it. The glue does take 2 minutes to fully dry, and it says sometimes to use 2 minutes before you even put down the bead. But what I suggest is that you put the bead down almost right away, so that way you can push it into the place you want it to be in. After 2 minutes, it's not going to move anymore. So I would kind of put it down a whole area, or like down the whole side, and then I would start at the top and go down. So by the time I got to the bottom, sometimes it was dried up and I would have to apply a little bit more. But that way I could make sure I was on line and everything was in order and I could push it. Once this started to dry up and be a really big problem, I actually, since it was bubbling at the top, I would pick up the bead and touch the back of the bead slightly to this and then put it down. I didn't really want to be doing that because it definitely just felt less accurate. Sometimes the glue would get stuck. Would you Dakota? Sometimes the glue would get stuck and kind of drip, and I would have to clean it off the suit, which wasn't too hard, just really lightly with the tweezers, pulled it back up. But yeah, so everything worked well. Don't get these. E6000 glue works great, but container not so much. And yeah, so that's all, and I'm really excited for my competition next week.